Wow. Whew. Incredible feedback on that last post. I wasn't expecting anything like that. This is the one about how I've given up drinking with my wife and having to deal with those demons that have come through without the aid of alcohol. I was blown away. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I was blown away by the amount of people who said to me, look, you're speaking my story. I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm going through this exact same thing. I thought, wow, that's really kind of cool. And a lot of people started talking about addiction. Now, I've always had kind of an addictive personality. In other words, if I'm into something, I am right into it. Like when I was rowing, I was all into my rowing. When I was acting, I was all into my acting. When I was in radio, I was all into my radio. Whatever trend or phase I'm into, it tends to define my identity. And I guess that's the level of my addiction. And so I suppose I didn't realise that booze was one of those ones that I don't know if I was addicted to, but I certainly discovered I was quite dependent on it. So I got into a discussion about this with a client of mine in a course just the other day. And we're talking about the Flames personality styles that I teach and talking about the high addictive tendencies of those high in orange flame, like myself. You know, once we're into something, we are all into it. Now, he said to me, well, why aren't you just less orange? Look, why should I be? And I got thinking about it. Is addiction such a bad thing? I mean, we've all got a certain amount of addiction to something. It's just some of us have less control over it than others. I've often thought that people who were alcoholics and go to AA just replace one addiction with the other, and that second addiction is AA. Now, granted, it's a lot more healthy and it's a brilliant thing, and I think all power to you. It's an incredible organisation, but all it is just replacing one addiction with another. So an addiction can actually be a superpower. If you look at all the most committed, successful people, they are all into stuff beyond reason. You look at your Richard Bransons, you look at your star athletes, you look at your amazing actors, you look at these inventors, they're obsessives, they're right into it. So if you can actually work out that you've got an addictive personality, can't you just direct it at something better? Now, it's not as simple as all that, I get that. And yes, people need help, like I did. But I'm not going to beat myself up for having what I consider a slightly addictive personality. So I say, yeah, go the addictives. Am I right?